how to reduce turnover and have happy employees and have people be intrinsically motivated. And then what does that mean? That means that they're lined up with their blueprint and they know their calling and they know the purpose of their incarnation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So after some time sort of pursuing that track of sort of personal development and self-discovery, I found Bentinho, and I just saw him. I just sort of randomly went to this workshop. Randomly, somebody just said, if you want to come see this 26-year-old enlightened guy, come on Monday. And I was like, all right, let's see. And I went and I saw him and just what he was talking about and the way he was. It was really the way he was. Just looking at that, like, I want that. It was just the completeness, the wholeness, like
the wholeness,
the connection, the maturity. It was something about the whole package, and I just looked at him and I was like, there you go, that's it, that I want that. I'm pursuing that. That is what I'm learning from. That's the education I've been seeking my whole life, is whatever that guy has.
I love that, Cory, and that obviously, as you are aware, and that's what you have inside, right? Like, but the guru relationship this is so tainted because religion has put like a little bit of a stain. It's not gonna be there always. That's why, I never get married or attached to any concept. Nothing. No, I can't, because at the moment I do, like I kind of experience a little bit of death, and I like immortality. I like the transcendental. I like the bliss of consciousness, but. You are exemplifying. You're speaking about the relationship between guru disciple. It was such a sacred relationship of student leader, and I love that you said it's not a submissive thing. And people misunderstand you being a disciple, being a devoted student of your craft, of your teacher. I have the same energy with my mentors. I honor every mentor of mine is like, Yvonne, why do you? Because I love them and I know they're an aspect of myself, but I understand what you are sharing, the reverence, Cory, and the circuitry. And I love that you said that is generated when the disciple is truly devoted and is open to learn, right? The teacher is able to access even more of this infinite intelligence. And through that circuit, the disciple receives it. That's when we can say that eventually the student becomes more than the teacher, and it's the pursuit. It's the goal of a good leader that the follower becomes a better leader, right? It's the pursuit of a teacher that the student access even more elevated time. So, but I want to say something you said, and I love this. I have so many notes right now, but you said that there was a day that you could actually hear your thoughts. Do you hear your illumination at that moment? Like you said, I could hear my thoughts. I mean, I meditate to be able to just watch these things called thoughts, right? To be an observer. You were able to listen to your thoughts. I love this, Cory, because I think that speaks about the wisdom of your soul. And I remember when you said that Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, used to say that the goal of yoga science, of meditation, of inquiry, it was to calm the mind so that in that moment we could hear our thoughts, so that without distortion, we could hear the infallible, I love that word, counsel of the inner voice.
Mm-hmm.
The infallible, and you heard it. So I'm super excited. And oh my gosh, that little girl that knew that I was going to be her friend in the future, Cory, paid attention to the infallible voice, the counsel of the inner voice, because for a moment you were able to calm her mind, listen to her thoughts, and heed the instructions within.
Nice. Beautifully said.
What is you? Yeah. So, keep going.
Yes. So I love this. And I have to acknowledge you for this circuitry that you create, or that we create. It's so inspire me, honestly. Like, I feel lit up. Like, I feel more lit up than I felt in days just talking to you right now.
I'm so grateful.
Really, because it's such a, like, when two beings connect who are both focused not on each other, but on source, or on from where they're coming from, this is such a good example of what can happen. It's like my face is grinning. I feel connected. I've had this a few times where it's just like, oh my God, like this is what I incarnated for, conversations like this to spread this. So anyways, big kudos to you.
Well, this is the conversation, right? This is the principle of the mastermind, right? When two people unite with the same purpose, and we both are, and I believe I can say this, we both are really committed to God realization. For me, my mom can descend from the realm of the dead or come from the bar, though she's dead right now, in the physical form, and if I'm going to be interrupted by the God realization search for something, I'll be like, no, mom, next lifetime or something like that. I think we have that connection, and this makes the third mind, or called the Holy Spirit, the mind of God, the infinite mind, to descend through us.
Yes.
And so it says beginning to feel like very much more sacred. So Cory, so you are able, you find your spiritual teacher, which is such a beautiful thing that you are sharing with others, because you are a very powerful lady. How old are you, love? I'm always curious. How old are you?
I just turned 30.
Oh my gosh, you're such an incredible wise soul, and such a young. I love that you are doing this, because for me, you represent the future of civilization, the future of humanity. And when all of the noise is happening, when all of the apparent darkness is going on, which for me is a natural contraction for the expansions that follow in humanity, someone like you, someone like me that has been 20 years on this road in civilization, apparently more than you, when you come, I'm like, oh my gosh, something is being done right. That beings like you are appearing. So tell me, and I'm Bentino, and you is like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take a vacation soon because all of you are going to do the work, right? But tell me a little bit. So you find your spiritual teacher, Cory, and what are the first signs in your body, in your soul, in your environment that begin to tell you, I got to begin to do more of this work and let go of all the other stuff that, you speak about a sacrifice. And I love that. We got to speak about the sacrifice, because people think it's like, meditation, all butterflies. Yes, butterflies, but first go through all the other stuff. So tell me, how was your process? So you find your teacher, you get committed, and what happens?
Wow. I love that you go there. I love that you go to sacrifice, because that is absolutely one of the more underestimated tenets, like pillars of like spiritual seeking, but for real, like not just sort of passively spiritually consuming your yoga class and your podcast and your blah, 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 this, but actually being a seeker of truth and being on a path. So anyway, so I'll get there. When I first met Bentino, you asked me what my sort of physiological signs were that I knew he was my teacher. This was that I was on this path. And really at the time I was so, I would say mental, or like mental emotional. Like I didn't even really know about intuition. I'm sure I had it. For sure I had it. I wasn't dialed in spiritually. I just wanted to like live an epic life, master everything, be a pro, just, reach my potential, basically. I did not care about self-realization. I didn't care about even seeking truth necessarily. That didn't mean anything to me at the time. It was just like, I want to reach my potential. Like I'm here for greatness, and I want to like make a difference for people, and I want to positively impact the world, and I want to blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, I had been seeking for a couple of years. I had been sort of following different modalities and trying different things, and really going full throttle. Like I even remember doing this thing on Facebook where I asked all my friends, like, hey, who knows about any type of like energy work? I'm going to do it all. Like I'm going to try it all. And so people would be like, my neighbor does Reiki. I know somebody who's like the best massage therapist, intuitive massage therapist in town, blah, blah. And I went to all these people. I went to like 20, 30 different people, and I tried all these different modalities, and I did a psychic class. Like I did everything. I just wanted to like, just give it all, and like, let me just see what sticks, like see what resonates. And one thing I did, I went to Landmark education, which I loved.
Oh, I did that too.
Yes,
I did
Monologue,
that too.
actually Monologue and Richard, who Bentino
Yeah.
has brought on stage with him multiple times and who are good
Mm.
friends of us. They were sort of founding members of Landmark, like they were originators. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and this was sort of like my, oh my god, holy shit, this education exists. Like there are people out there. There's an entire curriculum for living out there where the whole point is to get more and more true and to drop more and more layers of your bullshit. Which, by the way, I love that you introduced that in the beginning. That it's a deconstruction process. I don't remember the words you used, but absolutely. It's absolutely about peeling off the layers that we've sort of added onto ourselves and just getting more and more true, more and more authentic, more and more ourselves. So, and Landmark was the first sort of, how do I say it? Like mechanical, I almost want to say, like technical, where they just break it down and they just make it almost it's like a checkmate, like an
Yes.
intellectual checkmate where you just are like, oh damn, I'm full of shit, I've been lying this whole time, and you can't avoid that. So that, I loved that. I went through most of their curriculum. And then what has happened so many times in my life, and I'm sure yours too, is I found the ceiling. Like I found where Landmark ended. And I found this with other things too. I found this with my psychic class. I found this in yoga. I found that, and it was like, okay, cool. I can see where this goes. Like I can see the maximum of this. I can see the completion of this education. I can see where it goes. Even if I haven't fully realized it yet, I get it. Like I get where this is going. And that's not all the way there yet. Like that doesn't satisfy me. It's not complete. It's close. It's really good. It's way better than 99.9% of humanity or where most people are at, but it's not it. It's not. I can still, if I can imagine it, if I can sort of predict it, then I don't want it. Like it's got to break my paradigm. Like it has to be something that is almost beyond my ability to predict. And I didn't even have that fully articulated yet for myself, but I could feel the dissatisfaction with everything that I was pursuing, all the different sort of the tracks of spirituality. It was like, okay, I could reach the end of this. And it's almost like, I wonder if you've had this with like a job or a boyfriend where you're like, cool, I can see where this is going. Cool. Like, I love you. I love this work. I love this, whatever. And best case scenario, it's still just like a B plus. Like it's still just pretty good. It's not it.
One thing I just wanted to jump in, and you said the dissatisfaction, and I want people to know that dissatisfaction is such a powerful force because it
Nice.
tends, if we pay attention to dissatisfaction is a pointer to truth.
Love
I
that.
just want you to feel this for a moment. And I love that you began to be dissatisfied with this and with that. I love, with Landmark, I had a similar experience many years ago because as a producer that I am, and I support a lot of people, right, with their messages, et cetera, et cetera. I was involved in that and I had a mental breakthrough. But it's important to understand that all that what Cory is sharing, the dissatisfaction and the search and the seeking, etc., is part of the process, and then you find that yourself unfulfilled by that, or you find the threshold, as you call it, or the ceiling of that, and that's where you begin to push to find your more, right, your next level. So tell me a little bit because for me, I call it guru shopping, right? My guru shopping ended long time ago. I stopped guru shopping and I started doing whatever I wanted in life. So I stopped guru shopping. I stopped program shopping. And though I have incredible mentors and friends and collaborators, but I stopped guru shopping and my life became very really simple. So you begin to find the dissatisfaction. That's it. And I love, you're a higher achiever, but I love, tell me a little bit more, like, so you begin to find those ceilings, and what do you begin to discover, Cory?
Yeah. Well, really what I discovered with the ceilings was the dissatisfaction. It was like, like basically what I sort of discovered was like I must not be asking the right question. It was kind of like it was a cool phase actually, and I haven't thought about it until now, where it's like something more